Hey y'all, what is up? It is time for episode 2 of Coach to the Connector, coming to you guys live on Thursday, 9 p.m. new show time. I'm so excited.
Me
So we
too.
have you know who she is. Introduce yourself, sis.
What's up, everybody? It is Carrie, the coach, and I am an ICS certified really, I'm a creative development coach because what I do is I show you how to just create yourself however you want to be because you know whose business that is? Yours. Guess whose it ain't? Nobody else's. So I am your creative development coach, Carrie Irene, and this is Brandy, the DisConnector. What's up,
Happy
Brandy?
birthday. Living a life. So I am, of course, Brandy the Disconnector. I basically pull the plug on dysfunction at this point. I help people that want to help themselves, cut themselves loose from relationships that aren't serving them, whether they're friendships, family ties, whatever it is that ain't serving you. I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna learn you how to not feel guilty
You're
about
gonna
cutting
learn
certain things
today.
short.
You're gonna learn today how to pull the plug.
So we got Facebook user in the house. Identify yourself, Facebook user. Who this be?
Facebook user.
And of course, we got the wonderful Keisha Yuri in the house. What's up? So, like we done said before, if we ain't good for nothing else, we good for a laugh. But for the most part, we focus on bringing positive vibes, talking things out, helping people think on a higher level, while also helping coaches be better coaches and people who are looking for a life coach know what to look for in a life coach. So
Yeah.
that's what this show is about tonight. Basically how this show came to be, why we decided to get together and do this, because we both have experiences that we've been through that led us to this. And because of our experiences, we felt the need that we needed to help people based on the things that we've been through, the things that we know, and the things that we're still learning as we grow.
Oh, that rhyme. You dropping bars, all right?
It was an accident, y'all. It was an accident.
That was smooth. I like that.
Bars. Y'all about to literally hear some come turn of the month. Y'all better stay
Hey,
tuned in here, man. We got some fire coming.
you got that right. Yes,
So,
sir.
sis, let's start with you, man. What's your week? How's your week been? What's been going on?
My week has been incredibly full. I've had a lot of really good conversations because I'm in the process of building. And, of course, I am the coach. I am a creative development coach. But the root of my passion is really community. So as I am building my brand, which is just who I am, I'm really finding that the conversational piece is where my sweet spot is. Get to know people's what makes them tick, what makes them really dive in and do what they do, regardless of pay, regardless of clout, regardless of recognition, regardless of understanding. We are all pulled in these directions sometimes that just can't be named, but just having conversations circled around them and using that information to literally build community, finding out what
Right.
people want to do in the community and letting them do that is a powerful thing. So my week
Yes.
is perfect.
And we're definitely gonna get more into that after your segment. Because we had an episode from a little while back that if y'all go check it out, you'll understand something that is very unique about us too. We have an episode called Growing Apart to Grow Together. Whenever we shift gears in anything that we do, we don't say, hey, wait, what if it affects this, that, or the other? No, we flow with that mess because if we're supposed to be doing this, we're going to be doing this. Now,
Right.
as it turns out, we're probably going to be doing this for a while. It's going to continue to evolve just like we do. But hey, Kim, nice to see you, girl. I hope you're feeling all right.
Hey, Kimberly. What's going on, Coach Kimberly?
She coming, y'all. She coming.
I'm sorry. I just go ham. I like I'm in a family reunion 24 hours a day. What's going on, girl? It's all good. Y'all get used to it.
All right, y'all. So here's what's about to go down now. We're about to roll into a short commercial break. And when we get back, we are going to roll into Coach Carrie Irene's segment. She has a segment deemed and named The Chatter. So y'all gonna hear all about that because as per usual, we always got different projects going on. This is one of Coach Carrie Irene's projects, and y'all need to definitely give it all ears. So we will be back momentarily.
When love speaks. We learn about love at an early age, how it feels, what actions it embodies, and how it is to be received. So it is important that we evaluate our teachers. Those who teaches us about love have had teachers of their own. When you couple that with the individual experiences of love, the definition expands and at times also simultaneously diminishes. What is love? When we say love, we expect others to understand what that means to us. I challenge you to really ask yourself if you even know what it means to you. We must define love for ourselves before we can share it with anyone else. Even though we borrow the definition of love from our teachers, when we begin to practice love, we uniquely craft our expression of love in a way that suits us, and in turn, we create a dialect within us in which love is to be understood. This dialect will be reflected to us with smiles, conversations, and passions uniquely understood and desired by us. What does your love say? Are you afraid for your definition of love to be changed? Are you in turn imprisoning yourself to your own definition? Does your love say to others they are free to share their own unique dialect of love with you? Or do you confine people to only mimicking back your own? When I think of my teachers of love, I've realized that they were many, all vastly different. My mother was an inverted right apple, sweet and juicy on the outside, while the bruises lived within. My father was delicate steel. My sister was an even mix of them both. I have two brothers, and their love was cool as the wind. I knew I could feel it, but I could not really see it. As for me, I found myself feeling like an orphan of love. Though I could pick up on their dialects of love, I never fully understood love. I was taught what to feel, but not how to say it. I knew what not to want, yet not how to not want it. Yet still, here I am breaking all the rules. The rules bind love? I reflected on my prayers of love and what my heart longed to feel, yet I went day to day, relationship to relationship, never fully sharing all the feelings I did not know how to put into words. Words. I had prayed for a safe place for my love to reside. I wanted the right words. I wanted a pretty love, a creative love, a hippie kind of love, a passionate love. What I did not ask was the appropriate questions to me. What is pretty? What is creative? What is hippie? What is passionate? Words and letters coupled to make sounds. Those sounds give expression to feelings, and those feelings actualize into things, places, and actions. But if we do not share the same definitions of words, it is impossible for us to share the same definitions of love. Love and its truths for me have awakened. So wouldn't it be most important to know what love is to us rather than trying to find it in others? Only when we can define what we feel, which will define how we want to feel, can we be heard by the ones who can pick up on our unique dialect of love. We all must establish our own unique love language. And even when words die, our feelings are revived by the dialect of another, and new expressions of love are experienced. There need not be words for us to understand love, but an assurance that we have an ear for it. This ear is cultivated from the redefining on the inside that vibrates a message that we can in fact receive. When you establish love for yourselves, you can receive what the mouth never has to speak. For love will then speak to you from the vibrations that another seeks. Love is fluent in human experience, not words. It not only meets us hospitably where we are, but it scopes the scene before ever arriving. Love is a language, sort of. Not everyone speaks the same one, true. However, that language of love which we speak is only a form, a certain dialect, if you will, of love. True love speaks clearly to us all because love is not bound to words. We may speak love differently, but we all understand love when it speaks to us.
So yeah.
Well, we'll be back.
That is the chatter. That is the chatter. And that is something that I've been working on for a long time. Is really really figuring out how to say what I think. Because my thoughts are not just concrete of sounds of words. It's not just concrete of emotions, but they strike these emotions, those emotions that strike different examples of what strikes that feeling. So, we all have different definitions of fear. We all have different definitions of love. We all have different definitions of everything because our definitions are made out of our unique experiences. So when I start thinking about love and how so many times I was outwardly trying to love people and trying to please people and trying to make people happy so that my life could be easy. Because I think we all get stuck in that. If everybody's just okay, especially mothers, right? If everybody's okay, then I can have some peace. Like, let me just give them what they want so I can have some peace. Versus looking and realizing that within, we've always had peace because we are the missing piece. Not just the missing piece like a puzzle, but we're the missing piece because within us, from where we came from, is untouched. But yet all of the experiences that we've had throughout our lives has touched us and sometimes left a little residue on us. So then we start to build definitions around what we've experienced, and then we get frustrated when we don't seem to be able to communicate with other people because we're running around trying to make them happy over what our definition of happy is. When truly, if we take the definitions that we've cultivated that are so accurate, but only to you. But we're trying to apply all the information that we've gathered to everyone that we come in contact with, instead of applying it to us and allowing that to be our point of attraction. So that is the basis behind the chatter, is to really tell y'all what I want to say, not what I think y'all want to hear. And I think that I'm doing a pretty good job of it so far. To be honest, I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job so far. Because I just get on there and I just say shit, I create shit, And I don't care, and that is, I feel like, the way we should live our lives. Because then when you come to the realization that you are only doing things because it makes you happy, and any byproduct, any by emotion that results from that, it's not on you. Because through other people's experiences and perspectives is how they're going to take you. So if they're upset, it's nothing you did. It's something that's within them that has been bothered. So that is the chatter, and I really hope y'all enjoy it. That is the link. That is episode 2. There is one before that, and it is just called The Chatter because it was my first episode of The Chatter. But go to my YouTube channel. I'm getting ready to drop the link in the comments. Check it out. Please subscribe because I'll be dropping new videos of The Chatter every Monday. Every Monday. No certain time, just Monday.
And that's why we love free flow up in here. Is there a structure? Yes. But the structure is open to rearrangement at any time.
You just never know.
Right.
So
Angelique said, heck yeah.
Heck yeah, you got that right. Yes. Put your hands stuck out.
Clap, clap.
Little orange things on it. Greetings. Who is that?
Facebook user.
Facebook user. I'm going to try to figure out.
Angelique is digging that Surfside sunset. Yeah.
Ain't it? I miss those sunsets. I do.
Now, this might be slightly confusing, but y'all drop them hearts in the comments if you enjoyed the preview of The Chatter with the coach, Carrie Irene.
Yes, indeed. And there's more to come. I can't wait. I'm going to drop the link for the channel. So if you so wish, you can go and subscribe.
Most definitely. So we're moving into the how and why and the what and the who, whatever, of it all. Because it's a lot. It's a lot of principles that came together for this show to be created by us, right? So one thing that we definitely have in common is both of us have experienced the not so great side of the life coaching or mentoring, the guru so-called industry, right?
Right.
So we're going to get into that because that's the primary reason why this show exists. Because I've experienced bad mentorship. I almost got really screwed over by somebody that I thought I could trust, but it turned out he was a predator of sorts. And I don't know about your experience, but what I'll say is if I hadn't have been involved with personal development to the level and extent that I was at the time, when everything began to reveal itself and unravel, I would have given up on this journey. And there are people that encounter those that I've encountered, and they give up on their dreams, on entrepreneurship, on building a legacy, on just trying to achieve, and I'm not even going to say trying, moving towards the achievement of tapping into their full potential throughout the course of their life. And so that's why I felt passionate about creating a show like this. Carrie, what was the passion that led you to want to connect with me and make this thing happen?
Conversations. I like having candid conversations. And I think there's not a topic that anyone can bring up that I would not be willing to have a conversation about. And I think that you feel that same way because like you said, there's many, many things that brought us together, but it was mainly because we just got stuff to say. We just got a whole lot to say, and we wanted to put that in the most genuine way possible and just call it what it was, the Coach and the Connector. Boom, there you go. We got a show. Let's talk. And, and people come back for that very thing because they know when they show up to Coach and the Connector, they know we just going to be coming off the dome. Even if there's a structure, it's still coming off the dome. We just know what we're going to talk about. We don't know what we're going to say till we get on here. But we know what we're going to talk about because we have an idea, but we don't form set things that we're going to say because we're having genuine conversation. It's not predetermined what's going to happen. We just let it happen, and we want it to happen with y'all. So if y'all got anything to say, put it in the comments. We want to hear what you got to say too.
Most definitely. And you know what I absolutely love about what we're doing too is we're not afraid to shift gears right in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Like last week, we literally came on here last week, y'all. And this month, I mean, yes, this month we're supposed to be highlighting different independent artists. Well, the person that I was hoping to have this week, um, COVID is real. I'm gonna just say that. And
Right.
so we shifted gears and we realized, okay, we're coming onto a new platform. We need to reintroduce ourselves, especially since I've rebranded. I went from the
Right.
connector to the disconnector because one,
Right.
disconnector isn't technically a word. So it sets things apart. But at the same time, the method by which I do things, I help people disconnect from the things that are disabling their potential.
Right.
The thing that I specialize in is teaching people how to use their logical mind to deprogram themselves from feeling responsible or beholden to people who aren't there for them the same way that they are present and accounted for when needed.
Right.
When you start holding people accountable on that level, you see things shift in your life because there are things all around us waiting to fall into place and create that path to whatever it is we are meant to do in this life. But it can't happen when you're distracted by people that you've been told that's your family, but your family are the people that act like it.
Yeah.
If you drop everything to help your cousin move, but you need to borrow $20 and that cousin can't be found, that ain't your family. That's your kin.
You some kin to him. You or her. You some kin to them. Yeah.
Well,
Girl, I tell you what. Moving is one of them things. I tell you, you figure out who's sticking with
yeah,
you.
you done it several times since we've been
Hey, Uncle
connected.
Michelle. I'm Uncle Michelle in the house. Uncle
Hey,
Michelle.
Uncle Michelle.
Y'all, just so you know, if anyone having a cookout, Uncle Michelle can come. So can Aunt Antoinette Marie. That's right. What's going on, beautiful ladies?
Most definitely. So that's my specialty as the disconnector.
That's good stuff.
Coach Carrie, what is the one thing that you love helping people do as a coach?
Ooh, right now I love to help myself cut the ring lights off because they hot, Brandy. I'm about to be it's hot in here. These ring lights. It's been a while. Helping people do as a coach. Well, I don't really. I know this. Everybody gonna be like, "Girl, what?" I don't really help anybody do anything. I have conversations with people until they no longer feel the need to bounce their ideas off of mine anymore. What I do is I am there until they are strong enough to use their own voice. I am just an accountability partner for you to say when you say you're gonna do something. I'm gonna remind you you said that. I'm not gonna make you do nothing. I'm gonna remind you over and over again though that you said what you said that you was gonna do. And I really believe that that is the difference between me and a lot of coaches. A lot of coaches want to create a structure and a strategy and hand it to you and tell you to do it. I'm not going to make you do anything. You will realize at the end of being my client that you can do it on your own. You can do it yourself. You got everything that it takes, and you always have. Absolutely.
I love that. And
To you.
you bring up another good point though. Because this is something that we want you to be aware of. If you're somebody looking for a coach, or if you are a coach taking suggestions from other coaches that seem to have a cookie cutter approach,
right?
A cookie cutter approach is what will eventually drive a lot of people away.
Right.
Because everybody doesn't fit in the same mold. And if you force it, you're going to take people down the wrong road for a period of time. And it's either going to be them or you that realizes, oh, this is not what this person needs. And you better hope it's not them first, because you're not only going to lose a client, your reputation might be in question at that rate. Don't force people that belong in the triangle into the square. It's not going to work.
Right.
But it's going to work some nerves and it's going to shatter some faith temporarily.
Right. It's going to cut
Ask
your
me how I
corners.
know.
That's what you're going to do. You need them corners. You know what I mean?
But even if it's not about the coins, though, it's about impact. And it's interesting that that word comes up because ATVA impact,
Yep.
it's not only a community, but I'm just now realizing how many coaches we have in that community.
A ton. I mean a ton. And so many different types of coaches.
Right.
ATVA is as strong as it comes. And it's only getting stronger. And I didn't say coins, I said corners. Corners.
Oh, corners.
Yeah, I was like, what does that mean? I'm like, oh, she think I said coins. See, I like understanding. I like understanding. And with that, with the meaning, talking about the corners, don't let anyone put you in a box, but at the same time, don't shave off your corners trying to make people happy. Because we like to cut corners a lot of times, because a lot of times we like to get to where we're going to go by being in comfortable situations. I need to find the most comfortable situation so I can be where I need to be and do what I need to do. Sometimes it ain't comfortable. And that when we try to just be comfortable, a lot of times we are cutting corners. We don't want to admit that to ourselves, but we really cut corners because we're trying to get the quickest, easiest, fastest way from A to B. When sometimes it may be quicker, but it won't be as efficient. You won't learn all the lessons you need to learn. Then you're gonna have to go back. You probably forgot something. You gotta go back and get. Just take your time. Do it right. You can do it, baby. Do it.
You knew it was coming, y'all. You knew it was coming. If you didn't, well, now you know.
You know what I'm saying? We are able. Yes, we are able to be able. Indeed.
So you are definitely going to be hearing more about ATVA Impact Group throughout whenever we're doing shows, because ATVA Impact Group is Carrie.
Right.
Brandy the DisConnector is Brandy. That is me. That is my brand. That is what I represent. And that's what I love about me and about those that I get a chance to positively impact.
Boom.
So y'all, we have reached another commercial break. So hang tight. We will be back. And when we come back, we are going to be discussing. I will yeah. It's gonna be interesting, is all I gotta say. Carrie, don't judge me. Don't make me come over there. I'm gonna tell you.
Go to commercial.
Back. So y'all, I got two stories for y'all. I'm gonna tell you the story of how my serious personal development journey even began, and then I'm gonna tell you about the incident that let me know there is a difference between family, friends, and leaders, because family, friends, and leaders are identified by how they conduct themselves, and people that we just have been told or taught to refer to as those things. So, story number one, y'all. Are you ready for this? So, I actually used to be employed full time. Can you believe it? The last day of my traditional employment was September 29th of 2017. So, when The how of it all is this. I was ready to move on. And if you're like most of us that have that relationship with God, of course, I prayed about it. I asked God, is this the right move? I got fed up. I went and interviewed at another job. I feel like I had done a great job at the interview. And I went home. It's middle of the day. I took the day off to go see about this interview. And my mom and my friend were at home. So I'm like, hey, I feel like I did a great job. Let's go get lunch. We jump in the car to ride to go to the Chinese restaurant. Sitting at the light, I look up and I notice a white truck. A white F-150 pickup truck. Not slowing down. Bam! We got hit so hard. I was wearing my glasses. My glasses flew into the back seat. And when I looked behind me to check on my friend, she got her whole hand through the window, which is gone in the back seat. Luckily, I was driving a 2011 Dodge Charger at the time. So because the car was so big, the trunk got pushed dang near into the back seat. But we were all right, other than, you know, the typical whiplash and some soreness and stuff. But that was my answer. Because at that moment, I needed my health insurance, which means I had to stay at the other job, y'all. This was June 20th of 2014. A couple of months after that, I ended up in a network marketing company. I won't name the name, but what I say, I was introduced to personal development on a higher level at that point. So when my mother was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer, about 2 years after that, I got it in my mind that this job was taking time away from the people and the things that I care about most. So my husband put me in a position that he told me about eBay. And he helped me get inventory. We started building on eBay. And I put myself in a position, along with my husband's help, that I was able to leave that job because I was generating an extra $2,500 a month, which not only matched what I was making at my job, but surpassed it. So I got to come home. When I got to come home is when I actually got a chance to discover exactly what it is that I want to do, what I'm good at. And it turns out it's repairing computers, essentially. And then I started getting into the tech side of things. So from there to now, this graphic behind me, a lot of the videos that you see are the work of Carrie and myself. That's what I've had time to learn to do, from making time for myself and making time for my up and coming family, because we plan on starting our family this year. So that's the story of how my personal development journey started. And actually, I'm gonna bring Carrie back in and we gonna touch on that because I'm sure she has a few things that she could share similar to that as well. We've both had similar experiences in different ways because we're two different people. But it's amazing what connects us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Welcome back, Coach Carrie Irene.
What up? So you want me to touch on the last story, or you want me to wait till the next story?
Well, let's touch on the last story.
Okay. Well, I've heard that story before, and I've always liked the fact that we all have that story. The point where you get to that you're just like, something's got to change, or you see the dependency that you have on something or something like that. But this is one thing that I have noticed lately is that, okay, put it this way. What it looks like for you doesn't look like that for me. What it looks like for me doesn't look like that for you. And when you think of entrepreneurship, a lot of times entrepreneurship looks like jumping off a cliff and just knowing God's going to provide. You just know He's going to provide. But
I found it.
I was just saying this today. We always think that we have to jump like this. And you don't. You don't have to do that. And one of the reasons why I say that is because because here lately I've put in a few applications places, but only places that I want to work, only places that I really want the discount. You know, like I like the store that much. And to get benefits that I don't have to pay out of pocket and be somewhere that I want that's a culture conducive of who I am. Because I thought that I had to pay the ultimate sacrifice and go broke and do this and do that to be an entrepreneur. But you don't. What you do is you realize what the system is that you're in. You see all of the things that are in place. What was that? I don't know what that was. You see all of the things that are in place, and you pick and choose from the buffet of life to create a path to get what you want. It doesn't matter how you do it. Just make sure you're doing it and getting out of it what you need in order to get further along, what makes you happy, and just play around with life for a change. Don't be so strict on yourself of what you got to do to get to here, to do to that, to that. You can choose from anything. A little of this, a little of that, a little job, a big job, a career, a side hustle. Sell some donuts. I don't care. But figure out what that is for you and be as unique as you possibly can, because you see that fingerprint right there? That's exactly how all of our paths are. And how smoothly we get through that depends on how close we stay to this. Stay close.
Most definitely.
Girl, I didn't mean to preach on y'all. My bad. That just
Goodbye. Angelique said, I told my mind recently to stop sending me stress signals when I go to step out and start sending signals of delight and passion. No more hollering at the jump.
Like, golly, you gotta just stay up there. Like, wait a minute, you don't have to jump today.
Jump a couple of steps at a time. Don't jump off the cliff.
Right. Jump when jumping is necessary. Sometimes it is necessary to scream and yell and have that type of jump. Those jumps are so necessary, but we think everybody's jump has to be like that, and it doesn't.
No, but there are benefits to setting yourself up for that big jump. But this is something I want to touch on too, about the predators or fake gurus out here. Those ones are going to tell you to jump, not think about it, and they're going to tell you got 5 seconds to make this decision. If you hear them words, you better say it was nice and walk the other way.
That part. See ya.
Because that's how you get got, and we ain't trying to get got.
Mm-hmm. I'll poker on that one, honey. It's not just because they have a system.
There you go. Run.
Right.
If a coach tells you, hey, you're dumb if you don't make this decision right now, run.
Mm-hmm.
If they say you got 5 seconds to make this decision that'll change your life, run.
Mm-hmm.
Because your situation is not everybody else's situation.
Exactly.
So,
and don't try to act like
number 2, y'all. Story number 2.
Yeah, let's have it.
So, I keep telling y'all, family are the people that act like it, right? Mm-hmm. So I had an incident. My husband has always drilled into me, and not in a bad way, but he had always tried to teach me that family are the people that act like it. They conduct themselves a certain way, so on and so forth. And I had this incident. I had a family member staying with me. Still love her to this day. We haven't spoken since, basically, other than I was a third party on a phone conversation earlier last year or whatever. So when I finally reached my limit, they wanted to go to another state to be with another family member, and things didn't work out. So I gave them a decision: stay here or head back to our home state. I'm not going to give details just because I like to keep people's privacy their privacy. I don't know if this person's all right with this story or not, but I'm still going to tell it because names don't need to be told. So what happened was, it was around Christmas time. Instead of getting my husband something for Christmas like I wanted to, I went ahead and spent the money on a plane ticket instead. I'm sitting at work one day and I get an email. The ticket has been moved up about a week and a half for an additional charge. So initially I looked at it, I thought my card had been charged an additional amount of money to upgrade this ticket to a sooner date before Christmas. It turns out that the individual was able to reach out and ask to borrow or have, I don't know what the situation was, this money to move up the date of the ticket. Now, I politely called my mother and said, hey, you need to come get this person or Henrico PD is going to come get him. Because I had sacrificed getting my husband a Christmas present to help this person get back to the state that they wanted to go to in a time frame that we could afford, to find out that they could have essentially got this ticket themselves. That was the point that it clicked what my husband was trying to teach me. Because if you know, like I know, there are some people that know these things, but they don't know how to word it in a way that it lands with you without sounding mean. That day it clicked. He wasn't being mean. He's trying to teach me something important to protect me and put me in a position to always put our family first so that we could build a solid foundation for things that we have locking in place as we continue to build day after day. So that's where I found my second passion of helping other people break that connection of feeling beholden to, loyal to, or responsible for people who are older than us, are supposed to know better than us, are the same age as us, and has the same opportunities to see things for what they are and act accordingly. But for some reason, they end up in the same situations over and over and over. But it's everybody else's responsibility to help them fix it, even though they're going to go right behind you and do the same thing again. And that's their story. I'm Brenda Coach, right back in here now.
I think
Because it was a painful lesson, but it was a necessary lesson. So how many of us have had those necessary lessons that though they kicked us in the ass at the time, you glad it happened?
they're all necessary lessons. I was talking to my brother Ray Mel Bentley, it was yesterday or day before yesterday, and we were talking about how everything is clouds. As soon as a moment happens, it's fleeting. It's fleeting. Like everything is fleeting. All of us, our experiences are unique in of itself, and we should be grateful for experiences and let it go. Because the lesson is that everything is a cloud. That's the true lesson. Nothing lasts. And we have free range to make any decision regardless of what history we have with whatever it may be close to what we're going through. Well, I've been through this before, and this situation right here is solitary in of itself. It's all clouds. It's all clouds. And it's once we start realizing that, we will know that we can handle, that's what we want to call it, handle. Oh, I can handle this. You can handle anything because it's yours. And it wouldn't have showed up in front of you had you not been able to. So buck up, buttercup. It ain't going to all be good, but we can't hang on to the good no more than we can hang on to the bad, because then we'd be saying, well, he used to open doors for me, or she used to cook all my meals. Boo, that's not them. Period. It's all clouds. It's all clouds.
Now, Angelique said we all had choices, and some people choose to behave that way. That's definitely a lesson I've had to learn.
Yeah.
And many of us have. Many of us here in the room have. Many of us that's going to watch this, we might be learning that lesson all over again right now.
Very true.
What I'm going to tell you is tune in. We're going to give you the tools, the resources, and the perspective that you need to gain in order to move past that.
Right. Absolutely.
Because you never know who's waiting for you to step into your, and I don't know if it's a real word or not, but I'm going to say it anyways, badassery.
Right. Exactly.
Because if they see you do it, they know they can do it too. You never know who's watching you. It took a long time for that lesson to click too. And that's why I started worrying about, well, should I word this a certain way and be politically correct and all that big back bullshit?
Yeah.
Because it don't help nobody but the people that want you to stay in that little box. Do your little two-step and don't make no noise. You know what? I got too much noise to make. Kiss my ass. I'm about to do it. Oh man, don't hang on to any of it. Let the experience happen and let it go. And that gotta be Brother King Raymell. Hey Raymell.
That's him right there with the arm. Boom. With the arm.
The energy expert is in the house.
Yes. I love it. And it's so true. And it's good to have, not like-minded people, but open-minded people to have these conversations with, because we're not asking you guys to agree with us. I mean, I literally could not care any less on if you agree with me or not. What I want you to do is think for yourself. And I am an example of that. I think for myself. I don't want to show you how to do nothing. I want you to figure it out for yourself. And when you do, you realize that you are the God that you've been seeking, because we say he lives within us, but if nothing exists without him, everything is him, her, it. You have it. You got it. It's yours. It's all clouds.
Yeah, right? And you know what I found myself doing? I used to harp, like, people be living their life in a certain way, younger folks in particular. I'd be like, hey, you need to do this. You need to do that. You need to do this. You need to do that. And I thought about it. I was like, you know what? Nah. They old enough to make their own choices. If they ask me something, I'm going to give them the information. What they do with that information is up to them.
Right.
Once I give you what I know, I back off.
Right.
Because everybody, especially young folks, need to learn their lessons and fail as fast as they can and learn what doesn't work so they can quickly locate the things that do work, put them together, and find their destiny.
Right.
Whatever that looks like.
And then you
So you
realize
can sit there and harp on somebody until they finally tune you out, or you can give them the information that they ask for. What they do with this up to them, and you just say, "Are you ready to try it the way that I told you now?"
Right. And
so
there's
you can tweak it to whatever needs you want.
Though. There's truly nothing that doesn't work, because we're here. Put it that way. We're all here right now. It all worked. It all worked. We may not have liked it or how it worked or the way it felt and all that. It all worked. It all worked.
We're here, ain't we?
There we are. Grand evening, Brother Ryan King.
Hey, Mr. Ryan.
Yes, indeed.
Angelique just falling in love over there. Y'all really are our flower children. Y'all are our flower children, and we absolutely love that. And that's something too that's been bothering me a little bit. How we keep hearing the word woke misused as of lately. Woke isn't health consciousness or one way is the right way to raise children or anything like that. Woke is an awareness of your history and how it applies to this country from our perspective. Mm-hmm. And that's something that's been bothering me lately, but I'm beginning to let it go because I'm my own kind of woke. And just like every other word, there could be multiple meanings. Now, if you try and weaponize it, well, no weapon formed, right?
Not one.
And that's the conclusion that I came to. You can try and weaponize woke for what it's become within our culture if you want to, but it'll only eventually backfire. And that's the part, too, that I had a problem with. Everybody knows that there's a lot of discord and chaos going on around us right now. With the virus, with politics, with policing, with education. There's a lot of it going on right now. But one thing I had to remember, and I'm not going to stop stating, is in order for things to change, chaos first has to come first.
I don't know.
Well, come on, devil's advocate. I knew he was going to do it. Come on, Coach Carey, what you got?
I don't believe it. I do believe it happens. I do believe it happens. I do believe it will happen. I believe it will continue to happen. However, I do not believe it has to happen for me, because I do know that there's an opposite to everything. And I know that I have the power to choose which side of the stick I want to be on, and chaos will never ensue me.
Oh, I didn't say it was chaotic for me. I'm saying chaos is going on around us. It doesn't
Okay.
mean that we're not at peace.
If there's an equal and opposite reaction to every action, if everything has its polarity, if everything, gravity, up, down, all the things has that in, out. That's the only concern, not even concern, that's the only thing that I am interested in is the in and out. I want to make sure I stay more in than out. Because when I stay more in, chaos has no place. It can't even come close to the peace I feel inside. Not even close. And it's
Michelle, chaos could transform things. I work better transforming through action and pivots. That part. And that's why there's still times that I'm like, what the F is going on? Because y'all done heard my Popeye story. If you haven't heard my Popeye story, just go back and watch the episode of that. The Popeye stories, y'all.
You want to get around them?
Serious, y'all. I literally, like, and I haven't been lately, I probably won't go for a while yet. But when you literally got to make sure your mind is right to deal with the foolishness and fuckery that's about to go on.
She going in the Popeye. I feel it. I feel the Popeye story coming too. She said she wasn't gonna get it, but she leading into the Popeye story.
No, I did not tell the Popeye story. I'm just saying I've gotten used. Like it's not even 4 years ago that I would have completely snapped if I've encountered some of the things that I've encountered at some of these joints lately. But now I'm like, they just doing the best they can. This is just an exercise in patience. That's all it is. This is a nice store. This is a nice store. Oh, is my food ready yet?
Oh man! You said what in the world, Popeye?
You just gotta go back and watch, Michelle. You just gotta go back and watch. There's roles for everyone. Yes, and that's the part too. There are some pure a-holes out here, but without the a-holes, you would not appreciate the sweethearts and magical, wonderful beings that we do encounter on top of those people. Does it seem like some outnumber others? Yeah, but it depends on what you're looking at too, though.
Yep, all of that.
You about to have everybody on here yawning, Coach Carrie. What's wrong with you?
Man, look, I do what I feel. I do what I feel, sis. People can take it how they want, but I just have to go with what I feel. Okay, what we got here? We also have to be aware that how we view the world is based on moments that we have tried to hold on to, held on to, and relive or try to push away and not have. Meaning, my shit that I have inside of me is different than anyone else. So the goal is to release our shit and let others live their lives and do the same. Ashe.
Well,
Ashe.
And I love letting other people live their lives. The only time I have a problem with it is if you try and intersect with my life and force your life upon mine. Don't do it. It won't turn out well.
She said it will not.
I don't know if it's functional.
Yeah. That's exactly what it sounds like, Angel. Like they doing the best they can. Bless their hearts.
Why does that sound like a grandma to me? Man, I'm telling you, my best influences in life have been my elders. I have elders in my life. You know how you got people in your family that will never tell you when they effed up? I got elders in my life like, girl, I did this when I was younger. I would not do that. I would not do that. They be telling on themselves. My elders be telling on themselves, telling me all about the pitfalls, what to look out for, how to avoid certain stuff, how to know what's what and who's who. Man, you better listen to your elders that got sense. Don't listen to the ones that I would have never did no mess like that. You probably did that and 3 times worse. You liar.
Exactly. Now you tell me. Oh man.
No, you gotta choose what elders you listen to too, because you got the folks in your family that are like, well, if I was your age again, I'd do this, that, and the other. And you kind of look at them and the way they live in life, and you're like, mm-mm, no thanks. And it's okay to do that, y'all.
Michelle said, let me pop you upside the head.
Chili said, play stay hearts.
You know, Uncle Michelle know. Uncle Michelle be knowing about it.
Well, we do call her Uncle Michelle now.
Right. You come in with the gators on. Uncle Michelle come in with the gators on, you know, looking like Kool-Aid.
Most definitely. But y'all, we done ran up on another commercial break. I probably should have played it about 10 minutes ago, but you know what? We having a good time here. So I'm going to play it now. And when we get back, you guys are going to get our closing thoughts. And I'm going to let you know who our guest is going to be next week. Hopefully, I'm going to confirm because, you know, Covidica, as my girl call it. But we will be right back, y'all.
Do your legs ever feel restless, swollen, or fatigued? Do you ever get cramps that disturb your sleep? You might be suffering from chronic venous insufficiency, an extremely common problem affecting about 40 million Americans. The good news is that help can be found with VitaSupport MD's Vein Formula Supplement. Their Vein Formula Supplement supports normal venous function and was created by board-certified cardiovascular surgeon Dr. John Chubak, who made it his mission to provide the highest quality supplements using only the best ingredients and relying on scientific research from around the world. Dr. Chubak is at the forefront of educating physicians and patients about the important role dietary supplements can play in the management of vein and lymphatic disease. It was his passion that led to the creation of VitaSupport MD. Live a healthier life with VitaSupport MD's Vein Formula Supplement, available at VitaSupportMD.com. That's VitaSupportMD.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration.
Yeah, we back. Now, I don't know about them supplements myself, but I'm definitely take a closer look at them because at the end of the day, a lot of my a lot of our elders got diabetes. I need to look into that, see what impact I might have on that. But anywho, Coach Carrie Irene,
yes.
What are your final thoughts for this wonderful Thursday evening?
My final thoughts is that I love you, Brandy. I love everybody who's watching. I love everybody. It could be 10 years from now. I could be dead and gone. If you see this, I love you. And love, when love speaks, we all can hear it. You choose, it's like a choice like anything else. A lot of us think that we have to seek love. We have to look for love. But I want you to know that love is speaking to you right now through something. It can be something so simple, something just as simple as me. So make sure that you tune your ear to hear it wherever it comes. That's my final words.
Beautiful. And my final word for the evening, y'all.
Oh, Lord, y'all. What's she gonna say?
It's a new year. Choose new choices because you already know what don't work. You just got to admit it didn't work.
That part. Don't we already know?
We know. We just act like we don't. We know.
Everything works. Depends on how you feel about the journey you on, though.
Laura says, I love you all too. Mwah.
Love you.
Angelique says, love you too. Thank y'all for showing up today. It is our absolute pleasure and honor. Thank you guys for showing up today and continuing to show up because we don't know who we're reaching, but we know we're reaching somebody because y'all show up to laugh with us and spit some information and knowledge at us just like we doing for y'all. So we love you guys. We will be back next week with our special guest, hopefully, Mr. Quadrian McQuarter of McQuarterback Entertainment, independent artist out of Memphis, Tennessee. So with that, y'all, see you next week. Mwah.